Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to...
What would you say makes a good broadcaster?
Well, a good broadcaster is a broadcaster, first of all, who understands the responsibility that he or she has on his or her shoulders. You know, a lot of times as journalists, as broadcasters, we don't know the enormity of the job we do. We don't know how seriously people take us and how our work can impact on other people, how it can destroy our nation, how we can destroy lives, and how we can make and mar, other human beings. So I think that first of all, a good broadcaster is a broadcaster who understands the responsibility. Number two, a good broadcaster, a good journalist is one who also understands that those that he communicates to have their rights. They have rights to know what is going on, and they have rights to be told the truth, that those people demand objectivity on your part and that they don't want you to mislead them. A good journalist is a journalist who is really, really worried about the kind of trust that exists between him and those that he serves. If you're not a journalist that people can trust, then you're not a journalist. Because if you look at it, the journalist is the only other professional minus the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary who has a role, a constitutional role. And that's why we are referred to as the third, the fourth estate of the realm. You know, so we need to understand the very important role. Of course, you've heard about if I'm left to choose between a government without journalists and a journalist, and the press without a government. You remember what the answer was by a very, very important leader in the United States. So for me, and the journalist also is one that is very proud of himself and the work he does. Someone who packages well and carries himself well. A good journalist is that one that's not looking for brown envelopes and won't allow people through gratification make him say what is not the truth. So for me, is a total package. A journalist should be, should be someone who understands his role in society and is constantly 24/7 ensuring that he does not betray the confidence that has been reposed in him.
Now, to speak well as a broadcaster, what must one do?
You need to be hungry. You need to be very, very hungry. Not hungry for wedu and amala, but you're hungry for knowledge. You're hungry to learn. You're hungry to improve yourself. And that also includes that you're hungry to go to school. Because for you to speak well, you need to read well. And for you to read well, you need to have some level of education. And you have to have that constant hunger, to learn and, get new ideas and all that. So to speak well, I tell a lot of people who are already in the business that, look, the easiest way to teach yourself is to listen to others. And when you listen to others, listen to them. Like, let me take you as a journalist, and you want to speak well. It's for you to listen to others, and somebody pronounces a word in a way you don't pronounce that word. It is your duty to try to find out, is he right or am I wrong? You with me?
Yes, I am.
And then it's also important that you need to go to school to improve yourself. For a lot of journalists today, they're not hungry for knowledge. They're not hungry to go to school. There are a lot of journalism schools that at least will give you diplomas, give you the basic rudiments of journalism. A lot of us are not interested. They're only interested in collecting brown envelopes. They're only interested in going to drink beer at the press club, smoke, and then probably do the third one, women. And it's unfortunate because that's not who we are. That's not who we are. That's not who Anthony Anahero was. That was not who Kenan Dagoba was. That was not who Dele Giwa was. Go and look at them. They were great people who packaged properly, were respected. That's not who the former governor for Ogun State, Aremu Shegu Ashoba. That's not who he is. That's not who they are. Shegu Ashoba, for instance, was a journalist, ended up becoming governor. Latif Jakonde. They were not smoking, drinking, womanizing journalists. That was not who they were. They were respected everywhere they went to.
So, what do you like most about being a journalist?
Well, let me not sound immodest, but one of the things I like about journalism is that it makes me very important. It makes me look very important, very, very important, and it makes any journalist who knows what he's doing, or who packages well, who organizes himself well, does his work well, is always a very important member of society. The high and mighty would look out for you. I enjoy it. I enjoy that limelight. I come into a gathering and somebody says, "Oh, is that not Vin Martin?" It makes me feel good. Or if they don't say that, they say, "What's your name?" "Oh, that's Vin Martin." "Ah, Vin Martin. I used to listen to you in Radio Nigeria, AIT." Blah, blah. It makes me feel good. When I'm driving on the street and policemen stop me and, sorry sir, Gavin Martin, move ahead. I come to a function and everybody is being blocked and not allowed to go in, and somebody say, go, leave him. These are the things we enjoy as journalists, and sometimes it gets into our head and then we forget what we really need to do. The other thing I like about journalism is when the job I do, has an impact. I remember when Dr. Chris, the governor of Anambra State, was kidnapped. I was there. So, and people relied on me and AIT at that time to know what was happening in Oka. I like when that happens. I like when I do some investigative reports, like the one we led at Signature TV when we bust the corruption in NECO, where NECO was becoming where people just buy results and all that, and we followed it, went undercover and bust it, which led to the suspension of the executive secretary at that time. When you do things that impact on society and bring some change, positive change, it makes me feel good as a journalist. Very, very good.
All right. So what don't you like about being a journalist?
Azu, I like everything about being a journalist. There's nothing I don't like. I said I like everything about being a journalist.
Okay, that's not you don't like.
No, there's something I don't like. Some people will tell you, the risk, the danger. It comes with the job. But doctors are also exposed to danger. If a doctor is treating an AIDS patient, he can contract AIDS. Of course, we remember Ebola and how doctors died. So every job has its own risks. Okay. Some people may say, yes, you don't pay enough attention to your family because you're away all the time. Yes, but I also told you about the perks that come with journalism. So we need to balance. There's not, honestly, if I have another life to live, I still want to be a journalist. It's a job that keeps you on your toes. You must know a little of everything. You meet people. You go to places. You travel widely, and Azu, you and I know also that you make a lot of money as a journalist. Don't you know that?
Okay, but some people complain that there's no money in journalism. That most journalists are not okay financially. How would you respond to that?
As I've told you about that, a lot of them are not interested in doing their job. That's why they are not rich.
Okay.
Okay, let me explain. Let me explain so that people don't misunderstand me like I'm arrogant or something. No, what I mean by that, when I say rich, I'm not saying we are Dangote. Well, why not? A journalist can be as rich as Dangote. Why not? Why not? But what I'm saying is, a lot of us, the pedestal, the platform that journalism gives to you is enormous. You have access to people, ordinary people that don't have access to. But there are a lot of our journalists, what they do with that kind of privilege and access is to go and be begging for money. Oh, my father died. I need to bury him. Oh, I don't have my landlord chased me away. I don't have money to pay rent. Nobody wants to hear that kind of story. It's actually irritating. If you go to some people and tell them that story, the next thing they block your line. They say you're not serious. But as you and I know, and why I say you and I know that you have also worked so hard in this profession, and you have things to show for that too. So a lot of us, we use that pedestal and platform, to sell our wares. You know what I mean? You have the platform of, as you wrote about 2 or 3 books.
I've
You
written
put,
7.
oh, I didn't know that. You've written so
And
many
I'm
books. Let me just say,
going more on March 25.
great,
So bringing it to 9.
great, great. So these are things you're doing to improve yourself, to add something to society. I've had opportunity of having access to very rich men. I don't tell them to dash me money because they can't dash me money. Nobody dashes me money. I'll come with a proposal. I'll see something that they need and that I can provide a service. I put a proper proposal. And if they buy it, they pay you and pay you handsomely. When you come to, and they pay you what you demand for. But when you come to beg money, they give you what they like. And then they don't have any regards for you. A lot of our journalists are not working hard. A lot of journalists who go and cover assignments, what is it? Their interest is give us envelope, let's go and drink somewhere. Meanwhile, the journalist that is going to be rich and make money and be well to do, his best interest is to make sure that his story hits the front page or hits the headline or is shown on television. That's the one that will succeed. The one that will not succeed, that will complain that there's no money in journalism, is the one that will cover a story and go and put it in his box for another 3 days. And he will not see the light of day. Success in journalism is about choice. It's your choice. If you remember the old advert by Bata Shoes, it says Bata by choice. So if you want to be a successful journalist, then you have mentors, you have role models who have succeeded as journalists. As I remember you, Azu, as a young journalist, you try to learn from those you felt were doing well in journalism. Is it true or is it not true?
It's very, very true. It's very, very correct.
You made them your role models. You were not making money even then, but you were going somewhere and you knew your destination. And that's why today you can say that you have achieved to some extent.